5 things you must do to fully heal from narcissistic abuse. Good morning, my friends. Today I want to talk about something that touches the hearts of many, but is often shrouded in silence: the journey of healing after narcissistic abuse. Let me tell you this: you are not broken. You are not a victim. You are a survivor. And today I'm here to show you the path to reclaiming your power, your joy, and your life. Healing is not just possible, it's your birthright. Let's get into the 5 essential things you must do to fully heal from narcissistic abuse and step into the unstoppable version of you. Break free and set boundaries. The first step to healing is cutting the chains that bind you. A narcissist thrives on controlling your mind and your emotions, but today we're calling back your power. It starts with boundaries. Clear, unshakable boundaries. Let them scream, let them guilt trip, let them manipulate. You don't budge. This is your line and it's sacred. So the first thing we do during the first 7 weeks is we get that clear boundary. And really, I've kind of gotten away from key action. Block the calls, delete the texts, walk away. Your peace is priceless and no one gets to disturb it. Rediscover your identity. Narcissistic abuse leaves you questioning yourself, your worth, your abilities, your dreams. But here's the truth: you are extraordinary. You've been molded by someone else's narrative, but it's time to rewrite the story. Who are you without their voice in your head? What do you want? Your identity isn't lost. It's waiting to be found. Key action: spend time alone, journal, rediscover what makes your soul light, release the pain. Carrying resentment or grief is like drinking poison and hoping it will harm them. Let it go, not for them, but for you. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing their behavior. It means freeing yourself from the grip of their actions. Key action: cry, scream, write a letter you never send. Whatever it takes to release the weight on your heart. Rebuild your self-worth. Narcissistic abuse tears down your confidence, but let me tell you, the person you were before the abuse, the strong, vibrant soul, is still there. You don't just get to rebuild, you get to upgrade. Feed your mind with positivity, surround yourself with uplifting people, and celebrate every step forward. You are worthy of love and respect, starting with the love and respect you give to yourself. Key action: affirm your worth daily. Look in the mirror and say, I am enough just as I am. Take back control of your life. Healing isn't just about feeling better, it's about rising stronger. You've been through a storm, but you're still here. Now it's time to chart your own course. Stop waiting for closure, validation, or apologies. They may never come. Instead, focus on what you can control. You have the power to heal. You have the power to move. You have the power to take action. None of us can do this alone. The beginnings are always too lonely. Key action: set goals, big or small, and pursue them with relentless passion. Closing: you are stronger than you think. This journey won't always be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. Every step you take is a step away from the darkness and toward the light. And let me tell you, you're not just healing, you're transforming. The best revenge isn't anger, it's living a life so full of joy, passion, and freedom that it makes the pain irrelevant. You are not your past. You are your potential. Now go out there and claim it. Boundaries are sacred. Let me ask you something. How many times have you said yes when every fiber of your being screamed no? How many times have you compromised your values, your time, your energy just to keep the peace? That stops today. That stops today. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's survival. It's the first and most crucial step to reclaiming your life. Think of a boundary like a fortress wall around your peace. You don't lower it for anyone who threatens what's inside. You see, a narcissist thrives on blurring those lines. They'll test your limits, manipulate your emotions, and make you feel like their needs should always come before yours. But their needs are not your responsibility. Their emotions are not your burden. When you start setting boundaries, expect resistance. They'll push back, they'll make you feel guilty, they'll question you. But here's the truth. Their reaction isn't your concern. Your concern is protecting your emotional and mental well-being. Setting boundaries starts with clarity. What are you no longer willing to tolerate? What behaviors cross the line? You need to be crystal clear on this because vagueness invites exploitation. So find out what those vague ideas are. The hardest part is enforcing those boundaries. It's not enough to draw the line. You must stand firm when they try to cross it. And they will. The narcissist's goal is control, and boundaries threaten that control. So covering with violence, every time you enforce a boundary, you're teaching yourself that your needs matter, that your voice matters, that you matter. And that's a powerful shift. Boundaries are about more than saying no to others. They're about saying yes to yourself, to your peace, your sanity, and your growth. Here's a truth you need to embrace. People who truly respect you will honor your boundaries. Those who don't, they don't deserve a place in your life. Imagine a life where you no longer feel drained because you're constantly bending over backward for someone else. That's the life boundaries give you. A life where you're in control, not them. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love. And self-love is the foundation of healing. When you protect your energy, you have more to give to yourself, to your passions, to the people who truly care for you. Remember, a boundary isn't a brick wall to keep everyone out. It's a filter to let the right ones in. So start today. Practice saying no without explaining yourself. Practice walking away without looking back. Every no to them is a yes to you. So when it feels hard, when guilt creeps in, remind yourself of this. You're not just setting boundaries, you're reclaiming your freedom. Rediscover yourself. Do you remember who you were before the abuse? Before someone else's voice drowned out your own? Before their needs, their demands, their manipulation became the center of your world? That person is still inside you, waiting to be set free. Healing starts with rediscovery. It's about peeling back the layers of who you became to survive and reconnecting with who you truly are. When you've been in the shadow of a narcissist, it's easy to forget your own light. They make you doubt your strengths, your talents, even your worth. But let me tell you something, your light never left. It's just been dimmed. Rediscovering yourself is like meeting an old friend you haven't seen in years. It's exciting, it's emotional, and yes, it can be a little scary. Because when you've spent so long being who someone else wanted you to be, being yourself feels unfamiliar. I see a lot of my clients, I see plenty of you, and start small. What makes you happy? What brings you peace? What excites you? These aren't trivial questions. They're roadmaps back to yourself. And so that's just one little example of grief outweighing peace. Spend time alone, not lonely, alone. There's a difference. Loneliness is being disconnected from yourself. Solitude is reconnecting with yourself. Try new things, explore hobbies you've always been curious about. Read books that spark your interest. Dance like no one's watching, because when you rediscover your passions, you rediscover you. So, and don't rush the process. Healing isn't a race, it's a journey. Every step you take toward rediscovery is a step away from the person they tried to make you. Be patient with yourself. There will be days when you feel lost, and that's okay. Healing isn't linear. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your worth, who see the real you, and who celebrate that person. Let their love and support guide you back to yourself. Never allow you to lose your right to be free of the chains. Never allow you to be constrained by shackles or fear. And when doubt creeps in, because it will, remind yourself of this. You are more than what happened to you. You are more than their words, their actions, their lies. And after I prayed and meditated on the concept of abundance, which both you describe, I started connecting the dots to understand these things. Rediscovering yourself isn't just about finding who you were, it's about creating who you want to be. So start today. Take one small step. Reconnect with one small piece of yourself. Because every piece you reclaim is another step toward wholeness. And let me tell you this, the person you're rediscovering, they're extraordinary. The relation in your past, they're extraordinary. The one you may be thinking about, release the pain. Let me ask you something. How long have you been holding on to the pain? How long have you carried the weight of their words, their actions, their betrayals? Pain can feel like a familiar companion, but here's the truth. You don't have to hold on to it anymore. Carrying pain doesn't hurt them, it only hurts you. It's like clutching a burning coal, hoping they'll feel the heat. But all it does is scar you. Today, I want you to let go of that coal, not for their sake, but for yours. Releasing the pain doesn't mean you're excusing their behavior. It doesn't mean you're forgetting what happened. It means you're choosing to free yourself from the grip it has on you. Pain feeds on silence, on shame, on suppression. The more you try to bury it, the more it festers. But when you confront it, when you face it head on, it begins to lose its power. Give yourself permission to feel it, all of it. The anger, the sadness, the confusion, don't push it away, sit with it, acknowledge it. Because when you face your pain, you begin to heal it. Find a way to release it that works for you. Write in a journal, scream into a pillow, talk to a therapist, paint, sing, dance, whatever helps you express what's inside. The act of releasing is liberating. You might think, what if I let it go and it comes back? That's okay. Healing isn't a one-time event. It's a process. Some days the pain will feel distant. Other days it might resurface. But each time it does, you'll be stronger, more equipped to handle it. Forgiveness is part of releasing pain, but let me clarify. Forgiveness is for you, not them. It doesn't mean you condone what they did. It means you're choosing to unchain yourself from the anger and resentment that holds you back. Forgiveness doesn't always happen overnight. It's a journey. Start small. Forgive yourself first for staying too long, for not seeing the signs, for anything you're holding against yourself. You were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time. As you release the pain, something incredible happens. You create space. Space for peace, for joy, for new beginnings. You make room for the life you deserve, a life no longer overshadowed by what they did to you. And remember, releasing the pain doesn't mean you have to forget the lessons. Let the experience make you wiser, not bitter. Let it shape you, but don't let it define you. It takes courage to let go of something that's been a part of you for so long, but you are courageous. You've already survived the hardest part. Today, make a choice. Choose to let go of the pain, even if it's just a little. Because every time you release a piece of it, you reclaim a piece of yourself. And as you do, you'll discover this undeniable truth. You are stronger than the pain, stronger than the hurt, and stronger than you ever thought possible. And I believe that ultimately rebuild your self-worth. Let me tell you a secret. Your worth isn't something they gave you, and it isn't something they can take away. It's always been inside you, waiting to be rediscovered. And today we're going to rebuild it stronger than ever. Narcissistic abuse tears at the fabric of your self-esteem. They make you question everything. Your abilities, your intelligence, your beauty, your very value. But here's the truth. Their opinion of you is not your reality. Rebuilding self-worth starts with acknowledging the lies they told you. Every time they belittled you, criticized you, or made you feel small, they were projecting their own insecurities onto you. None of it was about you. It was always about them. You have to unlearn the lies, replace them with truths, and here's the truth. You are enough, exactly as you are. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. Take a moment to reflect on your strengths. What are you good at? What have you overcome? What do you bring to the world? Write it down. Remind yourself daily of these things because they are proof of your worth. Speak kindly to yourself. The way you talk to yourself matters. If you wouldn't say it to a friend, don't say it to yourself. Replace self-criticism with self-compassion. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Healing is a journey, and every step forward is a victory. Did you stand up for yourself today? That's a win. Did you prioritize your needs? That's a win. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who see your value, who remind you of how amazing you are. Their positive energy will help rebuild what the narcissist tried to tear down. Invest in yourself. Take that class. Pursue that passion. Treat yourself to something that makes you feel good. Every time you prioritize yourself, you're reinforcing your worth. Practice gratitude, not for what you've been through, but for the strength it's given you. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's abundant in your life. Let go of perfectionism. You don't have to have it all figured out to be worthy. Your flaws, your struggles, your humanity, they make you real. And that's beautiful. Self-worth isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about knowing you're not less than anyone else. You belong here. You matter. We matter to ourselves in the most. The journey to rebuilding your self-worth isn't easy, but it's worth it. And as you grow, you'll start to see yourself through new eyes, not as someone broken, but as someone powerful. So start now. Take one small step. Say one kind word to yourself. Celebrate one's strength, because every time you do, you're rebuilding the foundation of your self-worth, one brick at a time. And remember, no one, not even a narcissist, can take away what you've rebuilt. Take back control of your life. Let me ask you something. Whose hands have been on the wheel of your life? For too long, it's felt like someone else has been steering, hasn't it? The narcissist dictated the terms. They told you where to go, how to feel, and what to believe. But here's the truth. You were never meant to be a passenger. It's time to grab the wheel and take back control. Taking control starts with a decision. You have to decide that you're done living under their shadow. You're done letting their voice dictate your choices. This is your life, and no one gets to run it but you. And the narcissist's greatest tool was control. Control over your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. They created chaos, made you doubt yourself, and kept you in a constant state of uncertainty. But guess what? That control only works if you allow it. The first step to reclaiming control is clarity. What do you want? Not what they told you to want, not what others expect from you, but what you desire. Sit with this question. Write it down. Let it become your compass. Once you know what you want, it's time to take action. Action is the antidote to fear. Start small. Set a goal. Something achievable yet meaningful. Maybe it's taking a class, starting a new hobby, or making a decision without seeking anyone's approval. Every time you take a step toward your goals, you're building momentum, and momentum is powerful. It reminds you that you're capable, that you're in charge, that you're not at the mercy of anyone else. Here's another truth. Taking back control means letting go of what you can't change. The narcissist may never apologize. They may never see the damage they've caused. But closure doesn't come from them. It comes from you. Focus on what you can control, your actions, your mindset, your future. Stop waiting for permission or validation. You don't need it. You've always had the power to steer your own ship. Taking back control also means reclaiming your narrative. They may have tried to define you, to label you, to make you feel small. But their version of you is a lie. It's time to tell your own story. Speak kindly to yourself. Replace the inner critic with an inner coach. Every time doubt creeps in, remind yourself of the times you've overcome challenges, the times you've risen above. More superficial question here in the art business versus the art. Which one do you feel your art is more consistent? Surround yourself with positivity. Whether it's people, books, podcasts, or environments, fill your life with things that uplift and inspire you. The energy around you will fuel your journey forward. And remember, control isn't about perfection. You don't have to have everything figured out. Life isn't a straight path. It's a series of twists, turns, and learning moments. Embrace the journey. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Each step you take away from their control and toward your freedom is a victory, and victories deserve to be honored. This is your time. Your time to take the reins, to design a life that reflects your values, your dreams, your passions. Don't let fear hold you back. Fear only has the power you give it. And the second lesson here is, so today, make a choice. Choose to take back the wheel. Choose to move forward. Choose to reclaim what's always been yours, your life, your power, your destiny. Focus on progress. Let's get one thing straight. Healing isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Too often we get caught up in the idea that we have to fix ourselves overnight, that we have to have it all together. But let me tell you this, every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. Anything else we could do would be out of the question. Progress is powerful. It's the antidote to feeling stuck. And the beauty of progress is that it's not about where you are compared to anyone else. It's about where you are compared to where you were yesterday. So think back to where you were when the abuse ended. Remember the confusion, the pain, the self-doubt. Now look at where you are today. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but you're not where you were, and that's progress. The key to focusing on progress is setting small, achievable goals. Don't overwhelm yourself with the big picture. Break it down. What's one thing you can do today to move forward? Here we go. It's the RM Project with Mike Shaw. Celebrate those small wins. Maybe it's saying no to a toxic person. Maybe it's journaling your feelings. Maybe it's getting out of bed when it felt impossible. Each of these is a victory, and every victory deserves to be acknowledged. And progress isn't always linear. There will be days when you feel like you've taken 2 steps back. That's okay. Healing is a process, not a destination. Be kind to yourself on the hard days. Surround yourself with reminders of how far you've come. Keep a journal of your wins, big and small. Look back on it when doubt creeps in. Let it remind you of your strength. Focus on what you can control. You can't change the past, and you can't control how others behave, but you can control your actions, your mindset, and your effort. That's where your power lies. Learn to embrace the journey. There's beauty in the process of becoming. It's in the moments of growth, of discovery, of realizing just how capable you are. So, embrace the journey. Stop trying to get it right. Stop looking at the end game. Instead, look at the process. Progress is about resilience. It's about getting up every time you fall. It's about choosing to move forward, even when it's hard, even when it feels like the world is against you. Stop comparing your progress to others. Your journey is uniquely yours. What matters is that you're moving forward, no matter how slowly. But if you stay in the comfort zone, all you achieve is slowly. And when you feel like giving up, remind yourself why you started. You started this journey because you knew you deserved better, because you knew there was more to life than what you were settling for. So keep going. Keep taking those small steps. Keep celebrating those small wins. Because every step forward is a step closer to the life you deserve. And let me tell you this, the person you're becoming is worth every ounce of effort you're putting in. Celebrate your strength. But let me ask you this, have you taken a moment to recognize how strong you are? Really let that sink in. You've been through something most people can't even imagine. You've endured the manipulation, the gaslighting, the belittling, and you're still standing. That's not just surviving, that's strength. But here's the thing about strengths. It doesn't always feel the way we think it should. It's not about never breaking down. It's not about never feeling pain. Strength is about getting back up again and again, even when it feels impossible. Absence of emotion isn't what's true. It's the fact that you don't know how to feel. You've shown courage in ways you might not even realize. Courage isn't loud or flashy. It's in the small, quiet moments. It's in choosing to walk away. It's in setting that boundary. It's in saying, I deserve better. Okay? When you look at your journey, don't focus on the times you fell down. Focus on the times you got back up. Each time you stood back up, you proved your resilience. Each time you moved forward, you proved your determination. You're stronger than the lies they told you, stronger than the doubt they planted, stronger than the pain they caused. And that strength didn't come from them. It's always been inside you. Let yourself feel proud of how far you've come. Yes, there's still work to do. Yes, the journey isn't over. But look back at where you started. Look at the person you were then and look at the person you are now. That's growth. That's strength. Right? Celebrating your strength doesn't mean you have to shout it from the rooftops. It can be as simple as taking a deep breath and saying to yourself, I made it this far, because you have. Sometimes we think strength means doing it all alone, but true strength is knowing when to ask for help. It's leaning on others when you need to. It's allowing yourself to be supported without feeling weak. This next one has ruined me when it starts with, celebrate your strength by honoring your needs. Rest when you're tired. Speak up when something doesn't feel right. Treat yourself with the kindness and compassion you deserve. Your strength isn't just about what you've endured, it's about what you're building. You're creating a life free from their control, filled with your values, your dreams, your joy. Every day you move forward, you're rewriting the narrative they tried to impose on you. You're proving that their words, their actions, their opinions don't define you. Every day that you belong to me, you belong to yourself, you alone belong to me. Let your strength inspire others. When you share your journey, when you show others that healing is possible, you're not just empowering yourself, you're empowering everyone who hears your story. Toby Bell, who's one of my clients, I've been working with her for a long time. Everything he builds, and when you look in the mirror, don't just see the person who survived. See the person who is thriving. See the person who's still standing, still fighting, still growing, and eventually maybe thriving beyond what you can imagine. Sitting on a rock in the river, contemplating life. You are living proof that strength isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. And as you celebrate your strength, remember this, you are unstoppable. So take a moment today, reflect, celebrate. Remind yourself of this undeniable truth. You are stronger than the storm, stronger than the pain, stronger than you ever knew.